Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Blockchain Expert Conference at the Avenue in Airport City, Israel. And I am joined by David Azaroff, who has officially changed his name to Dudu Bitcoin. Okay. Did you go to Misrad Apnim for that?
No, I don't know. I need to keep that. I need to keep my work and official life kind of separate.
Okay, so your last name is
that,
Bitcoin.
yeah,
Did they call you up to the Torah? Like, yeah, I'm Dudu Bitcoin.
They know me by now at the synagogue.
20.
They know me when Bitcoin goes up. That there's going to be a good whiskey.
A good kiddush.
There's going to be a good thing. But yeah, I'm a big believer. You got to celebrate. You got to show people a good side of Bitcoin. My wife only started to come around to crypto when I bought her jewelry. I actually paid my jeweler Ethereum in 2020, 2021, 22 for jewelry. So ETH was maybe I don't know, 1,200, $800 back then. So yeah, I got rugged on jewelry. Don't use crypto to buy your wife jewelry. Use your shitcoin fiat money and keep your crypto for your children.
Is your jeweler still hodling?
He doesn't. He dumped it, and now he doesn't even want to accept crypto anymore. I had to pay him in cash.
If you would have paid him Bitcoin, then he'd be happy.
He doesn't. Like that's the sorry thing. That's part of why when I think of my experience, like I only got in 2017, and I'm thinking like some people get in early, but then they sell their coins. Like I got, there's one thing getting in early, and there's another thing getting in with conviction. So some people like had the merit of getting in early, but they stole their coins or they didn't know how to look after their coins. Rather get in a bit later, but do it in a way that you have conviction, because Bitcoin's going up forever. So you've got to hold that stuff between time.
Yeah. So Dudu is like I wouldn't say mini influencer, because he's like more than mini at this point, but he's produces some like really phenomenal content on X and on LinkedIn. Okay, I specifically mentioned LinkedIn because LinkedIn is lacking on the like quality content in the crypto community.
We'll get into that.
But Dudu has been bringing it for quite some time, and he's got part of his content is kind of, I guess, like his Genesis block and his like bumpy entry into the crypto world. And he's worked at some of the top projects in this space, but now finally, and I guess I'll tell you about it in a minute, he's launched his own shop. It's called WenGrow. But I'm not going to talk any more about it. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So why don't you just share with us like who you are? And you've been a friend of the show for a while. Okay, you actually we had a little bit of a collab with the breakfast show, and you helped me a little bit with marketing and content creation. But I've never actually had you on the show, so I'm happy that this is finally happening. And I'm happy that we're doing it like actually live and not like online. Yeah. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about who you are?
So welcome everybody. Thank you. I'm very grateful to be on
being a host.
Yitzy always has giga brains on. So always been if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. So if you're the smartest guy that anyone's had on their podcast, you're on their wrong podcast. And here I'm definitely not the smartest guy, because Yitzy's had some giga brains. So it's great to be here. So I've been in the space for 8 years. I'm originally from South Africa, and over there I did, as Yitzy mentioned, I'm a very big believer of telling your story, because like only when you look back can you kind of make sense of it all, and it's inspiring to me. So hopefully it can be inspiring to others. And I really did start off in the boiler room in crypto. Like, I don't know if I'm sure you're familiar with Bancor. They actually like there's a lot of shit with them, and
one of the first ICOs.
Right now. So Bancor's back in the news for less than good reason, but they were one of the first ICOs here in Israel. And I was not even working at Bancor. I was working at a marketing agency that was providing services to Bancor, and my job was to shill them on Reddit, like just a normal shill guy. And eventually, I got another project. Then Bancor spun up into an EOS block producer, and I was the head of marketing over there. And EOS was, the hot, the greatest thing since sliced bread in 2017. Back then, there was no layer 2s. There was no Polkadot, Cosmos, Aptos. Any of these names that you hear did not exist back then. It was Ethereum, and it was Tron, and it was EOS. And EOS went nowhere. It collapsed. So that was kind of my first exposure into crypto. I got to see, how the
He's
sausage
like
is made.
Brock Pierce, right?
Yeah, Brock Pierce. Like it was a lot of Brock Pierce and Block One. Block One essentially
Yeah.
raised four
Mega,
billion
mega, mega,
dollars.
mega
They
ICO.
$4 billion. They put that all into Bitcoin. They hold 120,000 Bitcoin. So they're one of the biggest institutional holders of Bitcoin, and they just haven't sold any of their Bitcoin. They
Wow.
just held on to it. So EOS was my learning. And then after that, we kind of became me and Alon, and he was working with me at the time. A few of us there, we kind of became maxis because we saw, how the sausage was made from the inside. EOS was a very dirty ecosystem. There was a lot of collusion between the block producers. There was
Yeah.
a lot of just dirty games. And like we came into crypto very idealistic. Like, the banks and the governments that are speaking over there, they're trying to rob us with fees and with all these, you know, barriers to entry and trying to protect their friends. And here's a egalitarian, fair, equitable alternative to that. And we got hit in the face with the realization that, like crypto is no different from the rest of the world. You've got a capitalist society. You'll have scammers and bad actors, and you'll have the people that take advantage and people that throw out the word community just to get you hooked so they can dump on your head. And for that reason, we became sort of, Bitcoin maxi. And I was a Bitcoin maxi for like 2 years. I went to Coin Mama, was a maxi over there. I missed the whole Bored Ape run because I was too much of a maxi. Wasn't
But you're
looking at
still a
anything.
maxi, no?
But
You're still a
I'm not a
Bitcoin maxi.
maxi. I'm not a maxi. I don't.
Your name is
My
Dudu
name is Dudu
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. I'm
You wrote a Paris on the white paper.
but a maxi is a maximalist. This and not that.
Okay.
I'm this and that, but
No, but
this
your
comes
this
first.
comes first. Right. Okay.
Bitcoin is the king. Everything else, there is no second best. I believe that, but I don't believe that everything else is a scam. I went from believing that tokens are the next, God's gift to mankind, to believing that tokens are a scam, to believing that most tokens have no real utility outside of an exit for the founders, and that's okay. I'm okay now with capitalism having
At least you know
created
what you're
an
buying into.
yeah, I'm okay with people saying, listen, like we've created this thing called staking that gives utility to the token, but in actual fact, we could have used Ethereum or Bitcoin or stablecoin for our platform. Why do we have a token? Because we can get liquidity early, because the founders can exit, because the VCs can exit. I'm okay with that now. That's, make your money. Like, I'm not idealistic anymore. I'm okay with that. If you do it, with disclosures, you do it with in good taste. You don't screw over your community. You do it in a way that increases the pie.
Transparent to an extent.
Transparent. Then, I don't need to pretend that tokens are this egalitarian exercise in utopia anymore.
But you know what I think like brought about that realization?
Pardon?
You know what I
Yeah.
think brought about that realization? Pump.fun.
Yeah.
Like it just they just they're saying this like the purpose of this token is to pump it so that somebody could benefit off somebody else. Now, as long as everybody knows that those are the rules of the game, it's fine. Like
I mean,
as opposed to pretending that it's something that it's not.
Pump Fun is I think is actually different because here you have a revenue generating token. So like I think that's the new meta right now. Pump Fun, Hype, all of these revenue those are the only utility tokens that I think actually have legs to stand on. And that's probably my next, like what I would ask you is like, how do you see that interplaying with, because revenue generating tokens, they use it to buy back and burn. It's come into the securities territory
in the market manipulation. Yeah,
so how did like what's the future for tokens? Like, would we see some sort of hybrid, setup where you have a token that's a sort of a quasi security that you can trade it on the DEX, but it also can hand out dividends in a legal way or something like that.
I mean, like only the regulator can really answer that question, but I don't think so. Like if you ask me, like there's securities and then there's everything else. So like I don't know. It's hard to understand like a concept of like quasi security. Like if it looks like a security, if it walks like security, then it's a security.
Yeah.
So like either you're bound by all those regulations that apply to securities, which again are really just coming to protect consumers in the end of the day, right? Like some regulators have like it's gone to their head, and they forgot what the purpose is of securities laws to begin with. But ultimately, securities laws are there to protect consumers from scams. So securities laws will continue to be securities laws. If you're a quasi security, you're a security.
Yeah, but I'm just like in America, for example, a security needs to trade on a certain license exchange. You can't have securities on a DEX. You know, you can't have a security. You know, you have all these limitations on who can buy it in the primary market and the secondary market. So, what I mean by quasi securities, maybe like the security laws in America were
Well,
instituted
in America,
100
you
years
have
ago.
like different levels of offerings, right? So you have like Reg S and Reg
Yeah,
D. So that's, I mean, I guess that's sort of to your point of like different types of offerings, and like some are more cumbersome than others.
yeah.
Maybe they'll get more creative and think of
Like I saw
different
yesterday a
scenarios.
token called Syndicate, SYND, that I haven't looked into it much, but Wyoming has new laws that allow. It's called Duna. That I remember because it's the same name as the brand of a car seat that we have. But it's basically like, maybe you can tell me more. But it's like you can have a legal entity that controls the treasury, as basically token holder controlled treasury that is legal under Wyoming law. So I think that's what I mean. Like these kind
Okay,
of
I hear
setups
where
that
you're
are
going.
more crypto native, but there's sort of like a category for them within the laws of the land, wherever that land might be.
Well, interestingly, that Cynthia Loomis, who's the senator for Wyoming, is going to be speaking at the conference today.
Oh, where's she coming on? I want to go. I want to shake her hand.
I think after lunch.
I
I
want to
don't think you
ask her
could
when
shake
the
her. You could shake her
BSR is
hand.
coming down.
Maybe you could shake her hand virtually because she's going on. She's joining from Capitol Hill.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Oh, I thought she'd be coming out. She's
I
just
sent her an
zooming
email
in.
inviting her to join me on Beyond the
Oh,
Code,
really?
and I got a response that she's joining
Oh, we need
virtually.
Cynthia. If you're watching this, you can come on after me. It's I'm warming the seat for you. Come and tell us live on Yitzy show, when is
About
the
Duna,
US gonna push buy?
the
Like
car seat token.
we've heard a lot of talk, and I think like Bitcoin's still 116K. It's still like hovering toward the high, all time high. But like if America makes good on the Bitcoin strategic reserve, then it's just gonna go ballistic. But that's a
That's
if
not
I don't.
financial advice.
That's not ballistic. Yeah.
But so
Anyway,
tell me a little bit about WenGrow. Like, what are you doing
so
now?
WenGrow is we're a growth marketing agency, mindshare marketing agency, and a lot of like we started maybe 5 months ago. Like my partner and I were working on a few other projects together. We also had some experience beforehand working together, and as we started WenGrow, the InfoFi revolution took off. Right, so InfoFi has changed my life personally because I'm finally. You mentioned macro, MIDI, KOL. I don't care what you call me. I get paid to write tweets, which is the holy grail. Like getting paid, like making money on the internet was always my goal. I tried many different things, even before crypto, affiliate marketing, and I tried drop shipping, and I tried a little bit of this and an e-commerce side, and nothing really stuck. And now, like this is sticking. InfoFi, getting paid to tweet, this gamification of content creation, where you have leaderboard, you're interacting with people, you're trying to rank up on the leaderboard. And by the way, then this is also like I think a good idea for you. Like having a podcast is the biggest multiplier for InfoPart because I've had Portal to Bitcoin, Maverick, Lombard, all these founders on my podcast. And when they come on the podcast, they'll retweet the podcast. The founders retweet, the intern retweets, and my mind share for those projects just goes way up. So that's kind of my strategy, like to try and look at the projects that are running campaign, bringing them on the show, and then my mind share goes up, and then I have a group with them to discuss more activations for WenGrow. So WenGrow is sort of like the amplification arm. We run InfoFi campaign. We do a lot of like traditional social media stuff, but I think where we really shine is in the new age marketing, both in knowing how to utilize the InfoFi platform. So whether it's Kaito or Yap Market or Tunnel, like all these platforms popping up, we have good relationship with the team. We know the best practices for launching a campaign. We're in the groups where we can then push the campaign. like the groups of these yappers. And we also have an in-house community of 500 creators that we run campaigns for as well. So,
Fantastic.
we're kind of building our own, I wouldn't call it an info platform, because we're not going to, it's not a platform. We're not going to just let anyone come and run campaign in the greenhouse. That's what's called the WenGrow greenhouse. It's more about like working with partners to kind of craft a package that includes spaces, streams, KOL activations, plus having, activity in the greenhouse. So the greenhouse becomes the sort of meeting points for KOL. And it's not just small creators. We have a lot of small creators, but we also have some big names there. We have people with 50, 60K followers, smart followers.
Fantastic.
So like we're trying to find the balance of activating the small ones, keeping them happy, also leaving something for the bigger KOL, and we're building like a very fun. I have some, I don't know how much I want to share, what I want to share, how I want to share it, but we're building like some very fun gamified, things to create like give a twist on a everyone does like a thread contest, or like the best post wins. Like we're coming up with like a new ideas, I think, that will push the gamification of content creation, of tweeting, even to the next level. Like I think people love to speculate, right? So like my thesis is that people would rather write tweets for the chance to earn big than write tweets for the guarantee of winning small. So if you're a small time creator, a lot of the info, like it's very hard to make it an info file. Like you got to rank up, and then maybe you'll get $100. What if you could create contests, like competitions, raffles, different kind of contests where you have to post to enter as opposed to post to earn. And then by entering the contest, you can really you can really like level up, like you can earn a lot more than you would otherwise. So that's kind of the vision for the greenhouse. But yeah, we're looking for now, as I say, we're very new. We're still in the semi-viable phase. We're hustling, trying to, create the brand
Gotta hustle, man.
relationships,
That's
and
part of it.
trying to bring we have, thank God, we have a good background of proof of work from people that we've worked with before, and they kind of stayed on as clients. But now it's time to really level up, and we're growing our team, we're growing our community, and like it's moving beyond the like, oh, we're a new startup. We might even get emails with our domain soon. I don't know, but that's TBD.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Yitzy. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys.
Thanks,
Enjoy.
mate.